And so we want to talk a little bit about you being Mia
Uh-huh.
Jaye, the Mommy O. Tell us about how you got started being a Mommy O in Memphis. Okay.
So, actually, I'm originally from Detroit, and I went to Memphis
Okay.
for college. So I went to University of Memphis, and got my degree there. Started my life there, and I met
Yes.
my boo there. That's where I met Adolph. And once I started my family,
Mm-hmm.
once I had Trey, I was in commercial real estate once I graduated. And when I had my son, priorities shifted. That was the first time in my life it was a
Yes.
major priority shift. It wasn't about me anymore, and it was about my child, right? So we made the decision like, you need to just have more time.
Yes.
Like Adolph was busy, it was like I was busy. It's like somebody has
Yes.
to take place in the home front, and that person
Yes.
was me. I was like the best qualified because I
Yes.
wasn't about to be out here doing what he was doing. Um, and so that's where it kind of started, just really getting into mommy mode,
Yeah.
embracing that. And it was a struggle because,
Mm-hmm.
going from being all about self, being able to be selfish, and it's
Yes.
like, who cares? Like, it's just me, right? To having a child and
Yes.
birthing the greatest joy ever. It just prompted me to have to do a lot of research on, not even, when I say research, I ain't talking just getting on Google. I'm talking like every time I see a woman of wisdom, older woman, seasoned woman. I don't care if you got a baby in your belly. I'm gonna have
Right.
a conversation like, girl, what are you doing? What is working for you? And trying to apply those things to myself just so I can show up as my
Absolutely.
best self in motherhood and womanhood.
Okay,
So
okay. And
that's
so
kind of how
you
I got
have
started.
coined this term Mommy-O, and you have a whole community of Mommy-Os. Tell us
Yeah.
more about that and what that really means.
So being a mom and CEO, it's really bringing out that leadership skill set within a woman, right? That what really activates bosshood. Everybody want to be a boss. Everybody,
Mhm.
thinks being a boss is looking like a boss, or being a boss is telling people what to do. But it's a
Yeah.
leadership skill that you have to possess, to be able to
Mhm.
really, for one, call yourself out, right? Being able to call yourself out when you need to be better at some of the things that you do, and
Yes.
not always being victim, right? But also being able to delegate to people, to be able to communicate effectively with
Yeah.
people, and just running your household, like running your household like it's a business, because ultimately the things that we as women, we can get so caught up into like wanting to run a business and start a business. This is the time is now for you to start a business. Everybody knows it, but you'll put that much energy into, creating and birthing a business, and don't really run your household like it's one as well. So I really
Yeah.
wanted to focus in on that. Like, let's set your hold up for success. Let's set mission statements and goals and different things like that. And even one step further, even though the primary is for moms, but for women that's like, just graduated, you're not ready to be a mom right now, but
Yes.
you're looking at maybe starting a family, looking to, to have a, be married, look for that spouse, have a baby with somebody, or whatever the case may be, start your family. It's like, it's things that you can come into this community and sis, like, it's a whole bunch of women
Yes.
who were just like you not too long ago, that can help you transition into that mode, so that's the CEO part. So whether you done birth the business, a baby, or like you birthing a business, it's like you can come and be a part of these
Yeah.
grown ass women who got real shit to talk about as it pertains to the
I love
the
that. I
the
love that. I
ebbs
saw
and
that you
flows
guys
of
have like
womanhood.
affirmations that you guys share. You guys do like group IG lives together. So it's really positive and
Yeah.
it's really nice to see that. One thing I do want to talk about is, of course, Adolph. When we post stories about your beautiful family, we get such a positive response. And I think one thing our readers pointed out was just how beautiful blended you guys were. You guys were so happy together. Can you tell us a little bit about your love story and what he was really like behind the scenes? Because a lot of people don't know that. But we saw you guys together, a beautiful family. Once again, our condolences. But what was he like behind the scenes?
Thank you. It's so funny because Adolph, you know, his first
Okay.
sign is, a Leo. He's a lion, right? And, you know, on the outside, you know, lions are so tough, big, strong. And then, like, you know,
Yeah.
in the inside, they're so gentle, right?
Yeah.
And that's the persona, right? On the outside, within his business and his work and his fans, what they loved about him, he was fearless. Like, he was bold. He would make bold statements. He was all of the things that you saw.
Yeah.
But at home, he was gentle. He was loving. He was kind. You know, like, he was so kind. And he was a person of good intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say that about too many people. It's like he just means well, right? Even within personal relationship, he was gentle. Like, he was just a good person, you know, good heart. And I would tell my friends all the time, like, hey, I've got a good heart, you know. And I just always, any friend that knows me during the time, you know, when we got together, I would always say, oh my God, he's so busy, but he got a good heart. Like, he really not trying to make me, like, he feels bad that he got to be so busy, but he was super protective of our family. And I just, you know, having a man that loves his family and willing to protect his family and just keep whatever type of negativity away, you know, negativity, just anything that's meant, like anything not meant for good, he was trying to shield his family. And he was just an awesome father, an awesome mate. Like, he's an awesome brother, an awesome son. Like, everybody who knows him personally, they're gonna love him. Like, if you know him personally, it's to, like, literally to love him, because he was real solid. And he was just, like I said, just loving. In terms of how we met through one of my best friends, like college roommates. She used to always say, you should meet him. And I'm like, girl, I don't want no rapper. Like, I went to college, I'm gonna get me somebody. Like, I want somebody who wanna say whatever. Like, I'm from Detroit. Like, you know, everybody in the streets or something. And I just felt like I'm growing up. Like, shouldn't I grow up out of there? Right? But when I met him, it's like, don't judge a book by his cover. Like, and when me and him finally talked about it, he was like, his friend used to always tell him, like, you should meet Mia. And he was like, man, I don't want to meet none of Jessica's friends or whatever. They probably stay at the club. He was like, no, she actually be in the house all the time doing her homework. I was in my last year of college, so it was real, like, grind time, right? And he was like, that was the part that made me, like, you know, you was taking care of business. He was always talking about how you were taking care of business. So I think that once we finally met and we started to talk and really get to know one another, at each other's core, it was like, that's where it was like, okay, like, it's definitely something here. And from there, it just continued to blossom from friendship to, like, familyhood, and it just continues to blossom.
It showed. It absolutely showed. You know, we just love seeing you guys together. So I do want to talk about Black Men Deserve to Grow Old. So on the season finale of P Valley, there was this beautiful moment where we saw Mommy O herself, Mercedes, wearing one of your shirts. And I want to talk a little bit about that. How did the brand wind up on Stars of P Valley?
Wow.
Yes.
So Brandy, she's so amazing. Me and so I have I know Brandy personally, and you know, she ended up, like, supporting. She just supported you, right? And this was during a time where it was like just a high tide of grief for me at that particular time. And so my team was just like, you know, like, she reached out and she purchased. She's like, I want to support. And they let me know. And I was just like, you know, thank you so much. You know, so months go by and she finally said, like, hey, I took this to my wardrobe team and said that this is what I want to wear. And, like, this was probably, like, I would say maybe like March. I don't know. It was the beginning part of this year. And she was like, is it okay? Like, you know, is this okay? And I was like, for sure. Like, that's cool. You know, like, I just appreciate it. Like, I appreciate you just supporting. And then coming back like, hey, I want to also do this as well. And so it was just a phenomenal act of support. And, like, I was just super appreciative of it. Then, you know, finally seeing it on display and seeing it on TV. And, like, it was just like, this